Hi, Mr. Kim. We just spoke a minute ago, and now I'm going to send for the second time the very simple instructions on how we're going to address the silicone and the blue loctite. You'll see that this is a stirrup which was from the 717 production, and this is an incorrectly processed stirrup where they used some type of white adhesive, which I did not approve of. And if you'll notice, they put it right above the detent holes. And this is how back in 317 and 717, the detent holes got filled with this silicone, and this is why we had anywhere between trouble and the impossibility of removing the treads without having to use a blowtorch to heat up the material. This is wrong, okay? I have sent recently photographs that the factory is still using this process and putting silicone above the detents. This is exactly where it should not be. I repeat, we do not want any silicone above this hole. Last April, we sent a long video that we are now repeating. I have no idea why anyone could have seen that video and continue to apply this material, which was unauthorized, in this position, which is the wrong position. So I'm moving forward to how we do it correctly. The stirrup and this metal tread fit on top of each other. They do not fit perfectly because they are poured material. There is a wobble in here, and this is to be expected because these are not machined, they're poured. So to keep these two metal pieces from wobbling while they're being used, we use the silicone for two reasons. The first reason is the silicone acts as a gasket. So we want to put the silicone on these surfaces here, the top of the rail and the front of the rail, and this acts as a gasket. When the silicone dries, this tread will not wobble anymore. It's beautifully in place and will not move. We're going to place the silicone off to the side of the detent, not above it, off to the side of the detent here and here, here and here, and on top, but not on top of the hole. I will show you where I like to apply the silicone is to the tread. You could put it on the tread if you like, and then put that on the rail, or if you feel like you'd like to put it on the rail and then apply the tread, that's up to you. I think it's better to put it on the tread itself. So I put the silicone right here. We'll get a nice close-up to the side of the hole on this surface, on this surface, and on this surface. Again over here, here, everywhere it's flat, on this rail, here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it everywhere you can on all three surfaces, but not in the hole, okay? It does not go in the hole. You can see that putting it here, it will slide into the hole. This is completely wrong, and this is what happened in 1217. The stirrup I sent you from the famous American actress, her stirrup had very little silicone, and the silicone was put above the hole. They didn't put any anywhere else, and the stirrup fell apart. You have the video. It shows the stirrup falling apart. Well, I don't understand who's doing this, but let's start and show what I would suggest you do. Take the tread. By the way, this is a left stirrup. You can tell by the metal it goes to the left. This is a left stirrup. So we take the tread. We use this silicone. Please do not use any other silicone. Please. Only this silicone, because we've already shown that some of the products that you guys have used is too aggressive, and maybe it wasn't the silicone that was at fault, but the application But meanwhile, I can't take any more chances. So clear silicone, GE silicone, it's not expensive, it works very well. We're going to take the tread, we're going to apply the silicone off to the side, get it on the bottom, on both sides, and on the bottom rail there. So it's off to the side, it's not in the hole, it's not near the hole. And we put the silicone like this. This one's a little sticky, it's okay. We put it on both sides. Again, at the other side, silicone. Put it in there. It should hit the left wall, the right wall, and the top. Okay? When we put this on, it's going to coat that whole area. The excess gets wiped off. Now there's some debate, and I'm not sure myself, there's some debate whether putting some on here has value, because when you put this in, there's a little gap. But I'll tell you right now, if you put a thick bead of this here, this will help. Now, next, so we use the silicone as a gasket so the tread doesn't rock. We also use it as an adhesive, because once this silicone sets up, I'll have to read the instructions, but I think it's maybe an hour, but I'll look at it. Once it sets up, this stuff holds on very tightly. So now we have the treads glued in place, and we have the treads keeping the stirrup from rocking. So now we'll put the tread on. We push it down where it's supposed to go. You'll see there's a little excess bleeding out. I don't mind that. You see, someone said before, don't put it in the center because there's a gap. But look, when you put a thick bead of it there, the excess flows out. There's some silicone there. So we're getting a very good adhesion everywhere but over the holes. We do not want the silicone on the holes. We can wipe off that excess. So now very simply, you take the screws. This is so simple, so simple. I'm not going to do all of them because it's ridiculously simple to have to do them all. You take the screw, you put a drop of blue Loctite. That's probably too much. It just came out. That's a fresh bottle. You put it here, and you screw it in place. That's too much Loctite, but it's okay. And by putting the Loctite at the bottom of the screw, as you go in, the excess Loctite is going all the way up into the threads. And you put that in place. It fits in the detent hole about finger tight. You don't have to pressure it. Wipe off the excess. Use the other side of this wrench, excuse me. And again, just finger tight. You don't have to pressure it, finger tight. Wipe off the excess of the blue Loctite. Wipe off the excess of the silicone. If a little bit shows, it's quite all right with me. And there you have it. If you can see through there, you don't see a gap here. The last time I sent this, the factory wrote back, it's not necessary to put it here. There's a gap. But if you put a nice bead of silicone, it fills up that gap and acts as more adhesive. The adhesive will keep the tread in place even without the screws. But with the screws and with the Loctite, we have a very nice design. We have no problems. Mr. Kim, I know what you want. You want to return to where we have the best product in the world, the best polish in the world, the best design in the world, the best assembly in the world, at the best price in the world. This is the best stirrup, period. And that's why we've been selling them for the past 15 years, successful in Olympic Games, World Championships, and World Equestrian Games. So please help me to help Sam K. Young get our stirrups back to the quality that I know you want and I know I want. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing some demonstration. Send me back a video or photographs that shows me that the factory knows how to do this application, use the products correctly, and use the products that we are, I'm not even going to say requesting, that we require. And thank you very much. Hope you're well.